Beautiful night here in Seattle, Washington. The sun is out. It is soccer evening. Seattle Sounders 2 versus Swope Park Rangers. Number 3 team in the USL Western Division are in town. Hello, everybody. Aaron Heinzen, Andrew Harvey along with you. Andrew, welcome back.
Hey, thrilled to be here. Sorry I had to leave you on an island for last weekend, but my sister was getting married, so I...
Family understandable.
You know, she would have been a little bit miffed, I would say.
That's understandable. Well, Sounders 2 hosting Swope Park Rangers tonight. It's a big game. S2 fell on Sunday 2-1 to Orange County. They still sit in 7th place, but they need some points at home. Let's start with S2. They had a struggle on Sunday, but going to be a tough test for them tonight. 3rd place, Swope Park Rangers. A little cap on Swope Park Rangers. 9 games unbeaten, 6 wins in a row. 4 games in a row, they have not conceded a goal. S2 got their hands full tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, they might only be in 3rd place right now after kind of a slow start for them, but you know, this is the hottest team in USL right now, and they're here. They're at Starfire, and S2 is going to have to figure something out.
Yeah, but S2's got some exciting news this week. They just signed the youngest player ever to a professional contract. Azriel Gonzalez turned 16 in May. Penned a Sounders contract this week. Pretty exciting for S2.
No, absolutely. I mean, listen, the organization's big on this kid. He's young, he's motivated, he's a quick learner, he's got great technical ability on the ball, but, you know, he's still a young kid. He's going to make mistakes, but what they love about signing him to this contract is now he can make those mistakes. You know, the ink is drying as we speak, so, you know, if he goes out there and has a bad afternoon, it's not the worst thing in the world, and sometimes as a player, that frees you up to go up there and have a great afternoon because you don't have to worry about a negative consequence.
Head coach Ezra Henderson talked about how impressed he was with the technical ability and the composure of this young man, so exciting things to come. On the other side, Swope Park Rangers, Lebo Moloto, a man familiar with the Sounders organization, drafted in 2013, never appeared for the Sounders, but he is now running the midfield for Swope Park.
Absolutely. 2 goals, 4 assists from Moloto this season. The South African spent a year with United FC in his home country before he wound up playing in the United States, came out here for school, and he played at Lindsey Wilson College as an NAIA school. While he was there, he was an All-American twice, the championship MVP once, and Lindsey Wilson won 2 national titles.
And he's had an impressive season so far. 2-time player, well, on the team of the week for the USL so far, this time for Lebo Moloto. Swope Park Rangers have a few other familiar faces as well. Cameron Owasa, the Sacramento Republic forward from last year, who S2 saw quite a bit. 12 goals, big-time player for them. And also Carlton Belmar, Portland Timbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Carlton Belmar. You know, things were going okay for him out in Portland, but they're really going well for him out there in Missouri. He's got 6 goals in 15 appearances so far this season. He's carving up defenses, and, you know, sometimes it's just that change of scenery that you, as a player, you need to be willing to take that step and relocate, go somewhere drastically different, and it's working out in a major way for Belmar.
On the interesting side, to switch back to S2 now, Azriel Gonzalez, as we mentioned, getting his first start tonight with his first pro contract. Pretty exciting. On the other side of things, Brian Nonasinkum holding down the back line. It's a different bit of a back line look than we've seen before from S2. What can we expect from him tonight?
I mean, listen, he's been solid all season. You know, Sam Rogers kind of has maybe stolen some of the spotlight a little bit because Rogers is the younger guy. But when they drafted Nonasinkum, they were high on him, and they still like him. You know, 3 goals, 2 assists as a center back. That's, forgive me, 2 goals, 3 assists. I had my numbers inverted there. Center back, those are great numbers. He's solid at the back. He's done everything you could ask of him, and he's been getting some great experience down here. He's really developing at an advanced rate. Yeah,
he's really coming along. And another man we want to talk about, and we usually talk about just about every week, Zach Mathers. While we were away, S2 had 3 games on the road before that Orange County game on Sunday. Zach Mathers now leads the team in goals, 6 goals, but we'll talk more about that after this. We break for our national anthem.
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional 3rd Division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. Beautiful shot. Pacific Northwest here. Seattle Sounders 2, Swope Park Rangers. Of course, Swope Park affiliated with Sporting Kansas City of Major League Soccer. We'll get right to the starting lineups here. Andrew, what pops out here for you?
I mean, it's got to be this back four: Colton Storm, Amer Didic, Omar Balo, Parker Mara, and of course, Adrian Zendejas. Zendejas, 5 clean sheets to his name, and that's third best in the league right now. But these guys have not given up a goal in 4 games, Aaron. It's a tough nut to crack, and it's really going to be something to keep your eye on.
Yeah, very impressive. S2 certainly have their work cut out for them tonight, but we'll take a look at their starting lineup for Sounders 2.
Well,
that man up top, Shea Adekoya.
Shea Adekoya getting another nod up top. 1 goal to his name so far this season. He'll be hoping he can bag another one here. But look for strong support from Mathers. 6 goals, 2 assists for him this season. He really gets it done, especially if they happen to get to the penalty spot.
Exciting stuff here. Referees tonight are Katya Koroleva. Seen her several times here at Starfire, and our assistants are Cephas Quartzen, Seth Martin, and the 4th official is Levi Rippey. As the officials walk to the center circle, both teams gathered around, getting ready for the start. One thing, taking a look at that S2 side, Andrew, Christian Kuntz, Kai Briscoe, both getting their another appearance. Kai getting his 3rd, Christian getting his 4th appearance now. Both young players, 16 years of age. They're going to have their hands full tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, it's a great opportunity for them, same way that Azriel Gonzalez has. Really kind of the left side of this Sounders formation is going to be battle-tested tonight by the likes of Cameron Iwasa, Carlton Belmar, Christian Duke, another man in central midfield for Swope Park that we didn't have a chance to talk about, but he's another large presence. So it'll be, you know, a very good challenge for this S2 team at home.
Nikola Popovic, the head coach of Swope Park Rangers, was at Benfica B as an assistant in Portugal before he became in 2016 and assisted at Swope Park last year, and now has done a nice job as a head coach this 2017 season. And you think sometimes about the schedules for some of these players. They, of course, were down with the Timbers, haven't gone home. Here now in the Pacific Northwest still, and it's a lot of time, and sometimes that can wear on players, but that's how impressive it is to put 6 games in a row undefeated.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, this is an unprecedented run of form for this club. They're performing very well, and they're getting hot at the right time. You know, we're past the midpoint of the season. We're looking at the back 9, if you will, and if you get hot right now and you happen to hold on to health, you can kind of steamroll your way into the playoffs.
For S2, this is a huge game. They currently still sit in 7th, 23 points, but 5 points separate 10th place and 4th place. Reno sitting on top with 26, Sacramento with 25, Colorado Springs with 24, Tulsa with 22, Phoenix, then Rio Grande Valley Toros. So a win here is huge, props you right back in it. Another loss and teams are starting to catch you. Katarina Koroleva checks her watch, just about to get started here. Scarves up from Emerald City supporters. Big game tonight here for S2. Whistle's blown. Shea Adekoya gets us going. Sounders 2, Swope Park Rangers. Setting sun. The youth teams were out here earlier training on this very field. They watered it down before these guys got out to warm up. Brian Meredith in goal, as he was on Sunday. Tyler Miller, who often features for S2, was in goal last night in that extraordinary Sounders DC United game.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. You know, Miller after the game, you could tell he was frustrated because no goalie wants to give up 3 goals in your first start of the season for the senior team. But with a finish like that, does a long way to smooth roads over.
It's always easier when the team gets the victory.
Oh, what a victory it was.
Of course, Ray Starry and Francisco Narbonne, the consistent two sitting there in the midfield. Long ball looking for Adekoya. And of course, played by Kai Briscoe at center back today, paired alongside Nana Sinkum. A lot of communication from Nana Sinkum. That's why we highlighted him, to keep this young back line in check. Number 85, Felipe Hernandez. Ball's taken away here. That's Iwasa. This one's going to go out of bounds, throwing for Swope Park. Just see the work rate from Cameron Iwasa, signed this year by Sporting Kansas City. As you mentioned, Andrew, 12 goals, 3 assists last season for Sacramento Republic.
I was a favorite son, the Sacramento native.
This ball's cleared away there by Mathers. Adekoya goes up for it. Mathers now wins it down. Rankin looking for Adekoya. Chance to use his speed, but it's going to go too far, out of bounds.
Going to be a real challenge for S2 tonight. Look at the size of the Swope Park players. I mean, to a man, this is a team that is older on average than S2, but not by much, and they're bigger by a lot.
Certainly something they contend with, you know, the youth that S2 tends to use. Used to that. As the season goes on, players start to get more and more used to it, but still it's always an advantage, of course. A little more experienced, definitely more physical. Certainly a different back line for S2 tonight. Lorenzo Ramos out there at right back. Christian Coots getting his 4th appearance now for S2 at left back. There's Storm.
Yeah, it's just one of those symptoms of player availability, you know, which can be a fickle goddess.
Nice long ball over the top. It looks like we have our first corner of the game. It's a good run there from Carlton Belmar. Kai Briscoe sees it out. Both Briscoe and Coons played in that game on Sunday against Orange County. Both were at outside back at that point, as it was Rodrigue L. He's not in the 18 tonight. Now we have a whistle here. Katya Koroleva didn't like what she saw. We're seeing a lot more of this season. Players being told about the pushing and shoving. This time it's Musa, James Musa, and Francisco Narbonne. You mentioned it, Andrew. A lot of players, a lot of tall players in there for Swope Park. Here it is. Just going to go into the side netting.
Yeah, Musa, 6'3", 25 years of age, from New Zealand originally, but well, was born in England, we should say. Actually came up in the Fulham Academy, but has played in New Zealand, the A-League, kind of all over the place down there, and now here with Swope Park.
Yeah, he's had an interesting career. Played in the Olympics with the New Zealand under-23 national team. Had a couple of appearances there. Brian Meredith sends this one long. Koroleva sees a foul by Mathers. Swope Park tries to take it quickly, but has to back it up.
Well, it's a philosophy that's emphasized from top to bottom in the Sporting Kansas City system. You know, make them big, make them fast, make them strong.
Certainly will test S2 tonight. Maloto, his first touch. Cross comes in from the side. Nana Sinkum sees it away. Number 44, Parker Marr.
Nana Sinkum's definitely going to have to step up and really take charge of this back line. Brian Meredith, also a veteran presence who can try to help keep the younger guys calm. But in terms of keeping things coordinated, making sure everyone's level as you're pushing up the field, it's going to be all on Brian.
Narbonne can't settle it. Iwasa sends it the other way. That final pass, though, by Colton Storm's cut out. It's a save. Real close there. Meredith didn't even see that one coming. fact, I almost didn't either.
Deceptive ball there.
Have to take another look at this one.
It looked like Meredith got a hand to it, push it into that post.
See if we can see it and we get a second. Here we go. Look at this shot. Meredith, I don't think he does get a touch to it. Saved by the post. S2 survive. Quite a crack there from Christian Duke.
And that's going to be an issue for the back line as well, is, you know, with sometimes you want to play a little bit further back against teams that have this kind of speed, but when they can shoot from range, you're going to have to step up and close them down quickly. So, you know, Swope Park, there's a bunch of different ways they can come at you, and they're going to employ all of them.
Speed of Belmar, Wassa. Lorenzo Ramos sees this one back to Meredith, bouncing awkwardly. He'll knock it away. Sorry, has this pass broken up. Wassa. Going to be so important tonight, Andrew, for that front three of S2 to keep the ball a little bit, take some pressure off S2 back line. Going to be a fascinating matchup between a team that has not given up a goal in 4 games.
Oh, very much so. S2 just 2 wins in their last 5. They lost the other 3. The team really wants to try to reestablish the momentum that it felt like it had about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He started to get everything clicking, and then a couple of unfortunate results.
Well, you can certainly put a little asterisk next to the 4-1 loss down the Real Monarchs, with most of the S2 playing in the Eintracht Frankfurt friendly and 6 guys getting their debut. But you're right, the rest of them just hasn't gone S2's way. Mathers trying to cause some trouble up here. Mathers, can he get to it? He does. Loses his footing, but still has time to get it back. Mathers. Rankin out wide to Adekoya. S2 forced to go back. Narbonne all the way back to Nana Sinkum. Shea Adekoya, 1 goal. This is only his 6th appearance here for S2. 2 starts. That goal coming back early April 2nd against Timbers 2 here. Starfire. Meredith knocks this one out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a great goal for Adekoya at the time. Came on as a substitute, and felt like 2 minutes later, a ball happened to bounce right in front of him. Took it well with his head and finished well with his left foot.
Azriel Gonzalez gets in on the action there, cuts off that pass. Christian Kuntz, good switch from him. Lorenzo Ramos, the right-hand side, Adekoya. S2 getting into the game here a bit. Ray Sari. S2 again, though, forced to go back. Swope Park doing very well as a team to recover. Not a Sinkum has that cut out. Swope Park looking to break. It's well defended. Sounders do have it back. You can see how well Swope Park Rangers are organized. Work quickly as a group to close things down. Here's Wassa putting it on Briscoe. This one's going to bounce over everybody, including Musa.
Yeah, trying to crack this Swope Park team for S2 is going to take what I would call informed patience, where you can't just aimlessly knock the ball back and forth. You have to always be looking for that opening. And to do it, S2 are going to have to get on the ball.
Briscoe back to Meredith. He goes long again. This one's going to bounce easily. 6'2" Omar Balo heads it back. Didic.
Yeah, 6'2" Omar Balo back to 6'5" Adrian Zendejas.
Zendejas, he mentioned 5 clean sheets in 12 appearances. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a continued trend from last season, where he had the best goals against average in the league of any keeper who played more than 300 minutes.
Nana Sinkum has that pass cut off. Swope Park again on the break. Narbonne does very well to read that. Nonasinkum gets back. Kuntz. Narbonne sees it away. Maybe Nonasinkum would have been better to clear it away the first time, but good recovery. Here's Adekoya, errant pass. S2 have a chance to break. Rankin on the right. Cuts inside, puts it on his left. Has Azriel Gonzalez. Just has it stolen away too quickly. Nice defense from Label Maloto. Things opening up here a little bit. Rankin again. Looking to switch it as far as Mathers. Good touch from him. Mathers back to the left. Shot was never going to be on target. A little bit better though from S2.
Well, definitely signs of life and signs of intelligent life as well. You know, it was well worked. Adekoya made the right decision to put that ball into space. See here the shot from Mathers. And I'm okay with that effort. You know, against a team like this, and where it's going to be tough to muscle your way into the penalty area, sometimes you're going to have to take a shot from distance and then chase the rebound.
I totally agree with you, Andrew. You never know where it's going to go. Wasn't on target that time, but absolutely might as well take it.
Well, you know, Zach Mathers, 6 goals to his name. He's earned himself a bit of a, not reprieve, but the right to pick his own shots.
Swope Park have it back again. Maloto. Owasa out wide right to Colton Storm. Swope Park moving it around. Chance. It's Christian Duke again. That's twice now from him. Probably 35 yards out on that one, if not 30 yards. Somewhere around that range.
See it here. Just picks up his head. Great read on the ball. And well done. Brian Meredith goes to the right. I think Meredith would have gotten to that had it been on frame. But you can see Christian Duke's a bit like a mortar crew right now. He's just kind of honing in and getting closer and closer.
Certainly has the ability to hit the target. That's warning number 2, I'd say, for the S2 midfield. Narbonne and Sorry can't let him have that much time. Here's Rankin. Closed down quickly, though, by Parker Marr. Marr done very well. Christian Duke, by the way, the first player picked up by Swope Park back when they were out of their team in 2016 last year.
He rewarded the nod. He was the only player to appear in all 34 games that they played that season.
There's the captain's armband for the Rangers. Team leader. 17 appearances so far, 2 goals, 1 assist. Mr. Duke. Balo. Looking to go over the top. Belmar chases it down. Ramos in his way. Owasa inside the 18. Belmar again. Trying to slide it through Ramos's legs. Can't do it. Goes back to the top. Owasa trying to find some space. Can't do it. Nicely broken up by S2. Rankin looking to break Adekoya, but just too far. Right to the feet of Didic. If he gets that ball right, Adekoya is gone on that right-hand side.
Absolutely. Shea Adekoya's pace is the great equalizer against the coordination of this Swope Park back line. And the service is going to have to be there for him.
Didic. All the way out to Colton Storm. Nonasinkum's there to break this one up. Adekoya. Plays it to Rankin. He has to come back for it. Ramos, big switch from him, looking for Azriel Gonzalez, but too far off. '15th minute, no score here. One big chance so far for Swope Park through Christian Duke. Beat Brian Meredith, but didn't beat the far post. Remains scoreless here. Here's Storm. Well, one-on-one with Kuntz. Storm can't keep it in. Nicely defended by Christian Kuntz.
You know, and sometimes that's how you have to defend. Everyone loves it when you're making, you know, great crunching challenges at the edge of the defensive third that create turnovers and spark counters. But, you know, it's equally as important to be able to shade into the box and let a guy run himself out of bounds.
Good patience from the young man, Christian Kuntz. Meredith's going to let everybody get up. Ball trading sides a few times in there. Ray Sorry just catching the back of Maloto. Ray Sorry, of course, is on 4 yellow cards right now, so 1 more for him would be the obligatory 1-game suspension. I'll have to be a little bit careful here. I'm sure Ezra Hendrickson would like to have him for the game at Sacramento. Another equally difficult match.
Definitely.
Ramos finds Mathers. Good ball from Ramos. Adekoya sprinting through. Mathers, good ball in from him. Adekoya goes down. Katya Koroleva says no.
Well, I think it's a good non-call. There was shoulder-to-shoulder contact, but that's a fair challenge on the ball.
Both Mathers and Narbonne going after Fernandez. He's hit from behind Mathers. See if we can get another look at that. No one could really get control of the ball. Swope Park can't believe it. James Musa.
See here, it's just a series of 50-50 challenges, and then that's the one that draws the whistle. You know, I think the tackle was late. I think it's a fair call, and that's about it. You know, no real cause for any other recourse, but anytime there's a series of 50-50 balls, whatever does draw the whistle, whoever's the fouling party always gets in the ref's face.
Certainly have to say something. James Musa couldn't believe it. Here's Mathers. We're going to get it over the top. It's always going to be very difficult. Mathers gets that second header. Rankin. He'll slow it down. He's pushed from behind. That's Musa again. This time he's going to stop and check on Rankin. Probably. Certainly can't argue with that one.
Well, I'm sure Musa is used to knocking people over at his size. But Rankin's staying down here. They're whistling for the trainers, Aaron. I'll take another look here. Rankin just stops. And again, once again, I don't think there's a whole ton in that from Musa, but still enough for a foul.
Okay, Koroleva's just having a chat with James Musa right now. Probably saying something about, you know, one more foul and you might get a yellow. Typical conversation. And Charles Rankin is still down. They didn't look too serious on the first, when you first see it, but might have landed awkwardly. Joe Montgomery's taking a look at his hand right now.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he put it down to plant it, and you know, it's such a natural human reaction to try to put something out to brace yourself.
Let's see it again here.
Yeah, maybe just that left hand kind of went down first. He put it behind him. Now wiping down his arm. Hopefully it's a rug burn and nothing worse.
Rankin looks to be better. Zach Mathers to take the free kick here for S2 on the left side. Mathers bending ball into the middle. It's always a sea of orange around it. Ramos back in. Adekoya. Narbonne out to the left side. It's Rankin who slipped onto the field since the play restarted. Okay, Koroleva motioned for him to come on, and I don't think they saw Rankin get in on that left wing.
Well,
Swope Park surprised to see him.
All warfare is based on deception, Aaron. Sun Tzu said that.
Mathers looked like he was going to go short to Kuntz.
He can
changes his mind, and does. Sorry, all the way back to Briscoe. S2 patiently waiting for the moment. Christian Kuntz, the ball into Adekoya, not a bad one at all. Narbonne going to line up, but it's offsides on Shea Adekoya.
He got a pretty good jump on that ball. I don't necessarily know if I saw that, and not to mention the assistant referee on the far sideline has the sun in his eyes trying to look through. It's a difficult call to make, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt.
Didic picks out. There's Belmar. Parker Marr on that far side at left back. Here he is again. Swope Park moving the ball crisply around at the moment. Storm can't get it past Christian Kuntz. 22nd minute here at Starfire Sports Stadium, no score. S2, Swope Park Rangers. Aaron Heinzen, Andrew Harvey here with you tonight. Crowds made their way in. ECS is here, of course, with the flags. Set for a big game. Long ball into the box. No Swope Park player around. Easy clear by S2, but it doesn't get very far. Belmar. Swope Park will work it around again. Musa. That midfield between Musa, Maloto, and Duke moves simultaneously all over. Here's Storm, putting it back across, nicely blocked off by Kuntz. Swope Park have their second corner. Certainly difficult for S2 to kind of get a grip on that, as Musa, Duke, and Maloto all seem to rotate in that midfield.
Yeah, it's, you know, they're swirling around. You see there, great combination play between Kuntz and Nanasinkum there, teaming up to make sure that ball doesn't get through. But, you know, with the fluidity in the midfield, it's just tough to keep track of who's where.
Felipe Hernandez on this one. Bends it in near post. Mathers sees it away. And it's a third corner here for Swope Park.
Well, I'm not convinced Hernandez hit that ball the way he wanted to. With all the height you have available, you want to put that up.
No doubt about it. Here's Hernandez again. Again, can't get it around Mathers. He clears it as far. The Storm, he sends it back in. Kuntz with a header away. Nicely done by him. Adekoya can't settle it down. Swope Park coming at it again. That's nice work by Kai Briscoe to see it out. Big touch from Swope Park.
It's a big ask to ask a 16-year-old to square up and body out a 24-year-old forward. Briscoe up to the task there.
That was Lebo Maloto on that one. Again, he'll just sit up top there. Swope Park happy to just rotate players around. Wassa now out wide. On the right-hand side. There's Maloto again. Looking for Carlton Belmar. Briscoe defending. Now Ramos defending. Belmar still going. Nicely turned there by Maloto. Mar. The ball put in by Christian Duke. Belmar again. Getting on his right foot again. Cut out by Briscoe. Well defended by the young man. He'll clear it away. 25th minute. Rankin steps in, takes it off of Mar. Now Rankin's going to take off. He's got Adekoya to his right, but that's about it. 2 on 5 at the moment. Azrael Gonzalez sprinting to try and help. Adekoya slows it up. Nice cut from him, but gets off his feet. Mar clears it away.
Yeah, you see there just the foot speed of Adekoya. So good, so explosive. Just got to work to get the touch in line with the body.
Narbonne's won it back, tries to slip it through, but Storm reads it. Azrael was just off his shoulder, trying to get in. Ray Sari steps in, and he is called for the foul. His second of the night. I think that's James Musa down. Now, I believe Zach Mathers has said something. He's going to get a little warning. Mathers just has to be careful. Just 2 yellow cards for Zach Mathers, but certainly don't want to get yourself in foul trouble this early on.
See there, he and Shea Adekoya seem to be having a tactical meeting in the center circle. Mathers, a very vocal member of this team. It's part of the reason he's looked at as a leader on this squad. Just trying to keep everything organized.
S2 looking for a way to close Swope Park down. They do well this time. That ball goes out of bounds. We have another whistle here.
Looks like she wants a word with Colton Storm, the left back.
I think that's Parker Marr. It's for kicking the ball away, most likely.
That is Marr, forgive me. And just a warning, but I mean, with the sun in your eyes and your back to the sideline, sometimes you don't know if the ball's in or out, and you certainly can't see the assistant's flag.
I think after maybe the whistle, he just kicked it on. Anyway, warning for Marr. Meredith under pressure, goes long. Musa settles this one down. He's got space. Musa over the top for Belmar again. Continues to stretch that left-hand side for Swope Park. Belmar, USL Rookie of the Year with Timbers 2 back in 2015. Storm, Colton Storm. Hernandez. This one all the way back to Zendejas. Kuntz gets that header. It's a quick throw. Maloto. Libo Maloto still going. Almost got through. Nice stop by Ramos. The tackle away, though, by Christian Duke. Sorry, ends up with it. Rankin tries to pick out Mathers, just misses him. And Didic, Canadian. Swope Park have it back again.
It just feels like every time an S2 player gets the ball in his own half, he has 2 or 3 Swope Park players closing down on him.
Very, very active defense from Swope Park. See how much trust they have in their center backs, as both outside backs basically playing as high as midfielders. Here's Belmar again. Seen a lot of the ball so far this half. Marr. Belmar's going to be flagged for offsides after that pass. Well, you wonder, Andrew, with all the height on Swope Park, S2, what are they going to be able to do to try and break them down, get some sort of attack going?
Well, you know, it's the risk and reward of that high system that they play, letting their outside backs range so far up the field for Swope Park, is both a blessing because it allows you to put that early pressure on the ball after you turn it over, but it could be a curse, especially with the speed of Shea Adekoya. It might not be the most attractive brand of soccer played, but route one over the top to your fast guy is certainly a way to alleviate pressure.
Absolutely.
But the service has to be there is the trick then, Aaron.
Well, Swope Park are doing it as well, moving it through the midfield and then using speed of Carlton Belmar to open things up on that left-hand side. It looks like there's a foul called there. This one on Narbonne. You think just a matter of minutes before someone's going to get a yellow.
Oh, the way the game started, I was surprised we didn't see one in the first 15. We've made it through the second 15 without one.
Hernandez on the ball. Big center backs, both Didic and Balo coming up. Join Awasa and Belmar at the top of the 18. Everybody for S2 back. Good position here for Hernandez to bend this one in. On the right foot. Doesn't get it past the wall, though. Hasn't had the best service so far from Hernandez. Sarri's going to get a piece of this. Hernandez on it again. Swope Park moving it around. Maloto. Hernandez goes down. Cleared away by Kuntz, but only as far. Balo intercepts. Swope Park keep it.
I see here just...
Nice little touch from Awasa to find Maloto. Here it is, Hernandez going back to Maloto. Still Hernandez. Can't get it off his feet. Christian Kuntz now. He tries to find Mathers. That one bounces off Moose's hand. And I think James Musa might go into the book, and he does here in the 31st minute. That was going to be the last one. You said it, Andrew.
Yeah, Korolev has signaled 1, 2, 3, and just, you know, it's one of the natures of being a taller player. See here, though, a couple of great tackles inside the box. critically timed. That's Kai Briscoe that got the foot to it, and then just coming the other way. James Musa just runs over his man, and eventually, especially when you're a bigger player, the referees are always keeping their eyes on you. So honestly, I used to get booked after my second foul.
James Musa, that's going to be yellow card number 6 of the season, so no stranger. Of course, after you've gotten your first 5, it's then 3 more before the next suspension. S2 in need of some rhythm here.
Referee issued yellow card to Rangers player in the 31st minute, number 41, James Musa.
Meredith going long again.
The important thing for keep your eye on if you're here observing the tactics of S2 right now is watch the off-ball movement, or I might say right now the general lack of it. As everyone's kind of standing and looking, and no one's trying to make those creative runs into space. I understand this is a big physical team that's going to wear you down over the course of the next hour remaining in this match, but if you're not making runs, then there's nowhere to play a ball.
Again, another ball over the top for Belmar. Briscoe's there. Maloto. Sorry has it back. Ray Sorry does well to keep it. Narbonne, he'll go long. This one's out of play. Now, of course, some of the service, too. The front players from S2 are getting these very high, waist-high balls that are flying right at them or stuff over the top. It's going to be real difficult to keep possession with defenders right on your back.
Yeah, everything's been able enough for them, just lack that little bit of consistency, that little bit of execution.
There's Marr tangling up with Rankin and Sorry. S2 have the throw. Adekoya able to switch play this time out to Nana Sinkum. He'll take his space. Kuntz. Azriel Gonzalez. He's bumped off the ball there by Storm. Throwing. Certainly as a young player like Gonzalez, you learn real quick about using your body in the game. Able to keep your feet. Here he is now. Of course, he had a real quick introduction to the USL in his very first game, if you remember. Came on, subbed on the last few minutes against San Antonio and picked up a red card right away.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. Just his back foot kind of slipped out when he was going for a slide tackle, wound up two-footing someone and justifiably sent off there.
Absolutely no intention whatsoever, though. You had to feel for him.
Much better in his second performance.
Of course, got that assist, great assist in that win over Los Dos, LA Galaxy 2. And as we mentioned, signed his first professional contract this week with Sounders 2.
And one thing Brian Schmetzer was mentioning was how important that is for the other kids in the academy, too. To see that, a guy that they've played with, trained with, and watch him get rewarded.
Briscoe cuts that one out. Of course, head coach Brian Schmetzer. Very relieved to see his team come back in that astounding win last night for the Sounders over DC United. Couple of former S2 guys then. We mentioned Tyler Miller, but Nuhu Tolo came on as left back. He's featured a couple times this year for S2. It's a foul by Azriel Gonzalez there.
Yeah,
and then Jordy DeLem.
Jordy DeLem as well. And, the double substitution to bring on Nuhu Tolo and the new signing Kelvin Leardam for the first team, that really changed the nature of that game. So, it's great. Same way that as an academy guy watching Azriel get signed, if you're an S2 guy and you're watching Nuhu, a guy you played with last season, he goes up there, he's doing good things for the first team. They're kind of building this pipeline.
Absolutely. Speaking of pipelines as well, we have another Cameroonian now with Sounders 2. Just signed yesterday, Guy Edoa from, of course, Rainbow FC, same club as Nuhu Tolo and of course Marco Shong, who's no longer with S2, but a couple of the guys last year, and Rodriguez. So we see have another foul here. It's a yellow card now, this time to Rankin. So Charles Rankin goes into the books in the 36th minute. It's funny because we haven't seen much from Rankin, but Katya Koroleva thought it was warranted this time.
Well, sometimes as a referee, after you put one side in the book, you kind of have to, whatever the next egregious foul is from the other side, make sure you make a show of putting a yellow card out so everyone knows the laws are being enforced consistently.
A little more pushing there between Mathers and Musa. And Musa, of course, already has a yellow card. Just picked one up a few minutes ago. And now he's probably going to get a final speech here from Koroleva, so keep an eye on that.
And if I'm Katya Koroleva, I'm saying to Musa, I want you to stay on the field. Don't force me to send you off. Looking very much like a disapproving school teacher there.
Sometimes you have to be out there. Hernandez again on this one. Free kick bending into the far post. Meredith is there. Doesn't get his hands on it first time, but picks it up. Quick start with Mathers. Swope Park does so well to close it down. Here's Belmar. Chance of breakaway. Kai Briscoe gets there. Fourth corner now for Swope Park. Nice idea from Meredith, but Zach Mathers almost had nowhere to go once he got in that ball. Swope Park got back so quickly.
Great challenge from Briscoe, too. He's having a great game. You know, he was shaky against Orange County from looking at the tape, but today he's been plugged in.
Both he and Christian Kuntz really solidifying things in the back line today so far. Here's Hernandez in, headed away nicely again by Briscoe. Ball bouncing around in there. Rankin wins this one. And catches Christian Duke in a tough place.
Well, there's nothing enjoyable about that, and that'll be a couple minutes between now and when play restarts.
It's going to be a throw-in for S2, and I think, of course, Swope Park will be playing with 10 men, as we mentioned. Duke will be down there for a couple of minutes, as he said, Andrew. Seems to be getting up all right. Take another look at this corner. There's Kai Briscoe getting up. Play restarts.
Ably dealt with by S2. You know, it's every time they get a set piece opportunity, the height's going to be a challenge, and all you can do is, you know, place your forearm against the base of the small of their back and go up with them.
Mathers flicks this one on. It's Azrael Gonzalez getting inside. Still going. Gonzalez goes down. Nothing in that one. Storm clears it away. And it's going to be actually flagged for offsides, Azrael Gonzalez.
I don't know.
Cephas Kortson.
Gonzalez sure looked like he was behind the line when that initial ball was struck.
Exciting moment there, though, for the young 16-year-old.
You know,
it looked like he was in. I agree with you, Andrew. Looked like he was in.
With his quality, you know, when he's with the academy teams in USSDA play, he just needs one opportunity on the ball. That's how good he is. Up here, he'll probably need 2 or 3. Just because when it's for the team you just signed a contract for, it feels a little bit more real, a little more frantic.
Owasso on the break. He's got Belmar. Kai Briscoe does brilliantly to cut that out. He has been fabulous so far. Kuntz flicks this one on. Gonzalez. Marbone breaks it up. Gonna go Swope Park's way. Crowd doesn't like that. They saw the ball ping pong off a couple of people. Hard to tell from up here, but Storm's gonna throw it in for Swope Park. He goes long. Briscoe there again. This one over the top. It's Duke, gets his full foot on it. Brian Meredith paws it away. It's a great save from him as Christian Duke got just about all of that. 5th corner of the match in the first half so far for Swope Park. Huge hands from Brian Meredith. I think that was on frame.
Well, sometimes as a goalkeeper, all you can do is just react. It's a great initial save, and he does really well to get to the second ball, too, that got away from him. And, you know, the old rule of goalkeeping, if you can't grab it initially, make sure it stays in front of you.
Hernandez bends this one in. Again, S2 get a head on it. Another shot, nicely blocked away by Adekoya. S2 fighting hard in there at the moment. There's a foul. I thought Christian Duke may have just not completely caught everything on that ball, but still a great save from Meredith.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, he's dialed in, so is Nana Sinkum. You know, the players that S2 need to be having to have good games right now, they have so far. How many times did I say have in that last statement?
Well, that was excellent work. Brian Meredith, of course, part of that big win up in Vancouver. First ever S2 victory north of the border. Had a few draws, but a couple of weeks ago during those 3-game road trip. Didic clears this one away. Nanasinkum sends it right back. Sorry. Always so clever. Does well to bring it down. Adekoya. Out wide to Rankin. Rankin using that speed, taking on Mark. Gets it across. Right in front of the goal. Azriel Gonzalez just slips. Mathers. Kuntz. We'll go back to Narbonne. Narbonne slips in. Mathers does well. Mathers cuts it back on the right foot. Looking for Azriel. Far post. He just doesn't get a foot on it. I wonder if he saw it late.
Yeah, it looks like it must have been screened. Gonzalez just wasn't posturing himself to meet that ball. And you saw kind of a look of surprise as it flashed across his face. That's a shame. Had he just kind of kept moving the way he had at the speed he was, that would be in the back of the net.
Here it is again. Great ball from Mathers.
Slicing through, yeah, and I think he was just screened by Amir Didic, which is understandable given the man's size.
Well, S2 have not registered a shot unless you're going to count Zach Mathers' effort that went way wide, but nothing on goal, but that was probably the closest they've come tonight so far. Nanasinkum wins this one. There's certainly a grit to this game that S2 are up for this match tonight. Of course, anytime you're playing with a team with a 6-game winning streak, you want to knock them off their perch.
Now, especially at home, in front of passionate support.
Hernandez does well. '43rd minute. Sun dipping down on the end of the first half here at Starfire Sports Stadium. No score, of course. Nanasinkum wins that one now. Narbonne out to Sari. Rankin again. Puts a cross off early, and that is going to be the first corner of the half for S2.
I really enjoy watching Charles Rankin work on that right side. Those bright cleats he has, they just flash, seem to disappear, and all of a sudden he's by defenders. He's been a great addition to this S2 team.
Charles Rankin got his debut in late May. 1 goal so far, 1 assist. Here's Mathers. Again, doesn't beat the first man. This one back in by Ramos. Clatters off a Nanasinkum. Briscoe trying to hunt it down. He won't get there. Now, just like Hernandez, Mathers just couldn't get it over that first man. We talked about it. Got to get that first ball in. Cause some problems in the box.
And if you can, you know, if the ball finds the floor inside the 18, you never know what's going to happen. A lot of young players are just taught if you get a shot on that, it doesn't matter if there's a man in your way, take the shot, it'll take a deflection.
Yeah, you never know where it'll go. Got to beat that first man, though. Nicely done by Rankin to Sari. Narbonne. This one cut out well. It's a shot. Not going to trouble Meredith. That was Levo Maloto. Does well, just comes flying through in that midfield. Ballo heads this one away. 45th minute. Andrew, any thoughts on injury time?
You know, there were a couple reasonable stoppages of play. Kind of a choppy first half. I'd expect we'll see at least 2, maybe 3.
Word on the street is it's 2 minutes. Nanasinkum. Not the best pass there from Narbonne. Gets it back to Meredith. Meredith looking to pick out Sari and does. Tracked all the way though by Musa. Keep an eye on those two. Sari and Musa and Mathers, that midfield battle. Azriel Gonzalez wins the header. Again, that ball to Adekoya. Always going to be tough for him to win against Omar Ballo.
S2 have to stay sharp right until the whistle here. Sometimes when you're close to the half, there can be a tendency with younger players to sort of let up and get ready.
Good turn from Adekoya. He's going to take off on the left-hand side. Storm's right there with him. Adekoya will slow it up. Kuntz. Lets it drift by him. Has to go back to Narbonne. Nanasinkum. Briscoe picks out Rankin. 2 minutes it is for stoppage time. Rankin over the top to no one. Big long ball there is going to skip everybody right to Brian Meredith. Well, Shea Adekoya had the ball here just a few minutes ago, just a second ago, I should say. I think you might have done better to go one-on-one against Storm again as opposed to going backwards.
I think so, and you know, we have the value of hindsight since the attack wound up coming to nothing. But
of course,
you know, close to the end of the half, if you manage to get a kind of an awkward breaking ball like that where you spin away from a man, you know, press your luck, see what you can do. Defenders panic in situations like that, and sometimes they'll foul you inside the box.
Certainly, man, with Adekoya's speed, can always cause a lot of problems.
Surprised Mathers isn't going to take this throw.
Mathers, touch gets away from him. Of course, last week on Sunday, we saw Irvin Parra with a big, long throw. Did not know he had that in his arsenal. That was what led to David Olson's goal, the equalizer against Orange County. But of course, Orange County scored a couple minutes after that, and that was the last goal we saw. But I don't think there's anybody else on this S2 team that I've seen that has a long throw.
That's always a fun surprise when you think you have a read on a player and then you see him line up to take a throw and they hurl it 35 yards in the air.
Threw it right into the middle of the penalty box. Pretty impressive. Sorry catches the back of Lebo Moloto.
I think Ray Sari's hard done by there. I really thought he got that ball first, or at least it seemed that way.
Koroleva must have thought so too, because she didn't talk to Sari. It has already been mentioned a couple times, but we are scoreless here. That is the first half. Seattle Sounders 2-0. Swope Park Rangers 0. Andrew, first half thoughts?
You know, Swope Park looked dominant, but Sounders have been getting their chances. They will continue to get them in the second half. They just need to stay resolute on defense, really commit to playing to zero out of the back, and if they do that, then they'll have an opportunity to take this game.
Halftime here at Starfire Sports Stadium. We will have highlights and commentary when we come back.
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
The opening half of the 2017 USL regular season has seen two teams emerge at the top of the Western Conference, with Real Monarchs SLC and San Antonio FC engaged in a duel for conference supremacy and potentially the USL regular season championship. San Antonio broke out first, putting together a 14-game undefeated streak, which included a 672-minute shutout streak to start the season. But the Monarchs' USL record 9-game winning streak, led by Sebastian Velasquez, has moved Real's new-look squad into the top spot as a showdown at Toyota Field on July 22nd closes in. The top of the Eastern Conference has also seen a clearly defined top two, including Louisville City FC, a finalist in the Eastern Conference final the past two seasons, pushing for another high finish in the standings. City's hard-driving attacking group, led by Brian Ownby, Niall McCabe, and Cameron Lancaster, has thrilled packed houses at Slugger Field so far this season. But leading the pack is the Charleston Battery, whose 25th anniversary season features an attack that more than lives up to the club's cannon-bearing press. Led by Romario Williams, the Battery lead the USL in goals, with the likes of Forrest Lasso, Justin Portillo, and Atula Guerra providing a strong supporting cast at MUSC Health Stadium. Williams' success has placed him in a duel with Reno 1868 FC's Dane Kelly in the race for the USL Golden Boot. The two Jamaicans producing some highlight reel finishes on their way to double-digit goals before the end of the first half of the season. Kelly's run of scoring in 6 straight games helped expansion side 1868 FC up the Western Conference standings. Currently well positioned to take its place in the USL Cup playoffs, Reno follows in the footsteps of the likes of FC Cincinnati in 2016, Louisville City FC in 2015, and Sacramento Republic FC in 2014 in finding immediate success on and off the field. Poised to join that group in 2018 is Nashville SC, which has already built an impressive front office and hired former MLS Cup winner Gary Smith as the first head coach in the club's USL history. With more expansion news expected in coming weeks, the conclusion of the 2017 season not only provides more on-field highlights to thrill fans, but also set the course for the USL into the next decade as it continues to raise the bar across the board.
Welcome back. Starfire Sports Stadium here. Fans enjoying a little halftime action. We are scoreless. Seattle Sounders 2, Swope Park Rangers 0. Of course, Seattle Sounders 2 0 as well. It's always tricky. Aaron Hines and Andrew Harvey here. Halftime. First half, Andrew. Sounders 2 a little bit overwhelmed in possession-wise against Swope Park Rangers, but still scoreless. Couple of close calls. What do you think of the first half performance of Sounders 2 back line?
You know what, when we were walking into this game, we were kind of wondering if S2 was going to come out and how they were going to answer the bell. The answer is emphatically. Swope Park, very good team that's on a roll. They have belief, they have a system, and they're executing both. But S2 is not cowed by that. They came out and they're defending where they need to. They're going in on rough tackles, and they've come up big on defense a couple of times.
Sounders 2, not a ton of opportunities, but as you mentioned, big on the defense. Let's take a look here at some of the highlights from the first half. Swope Park Rangers pretty much dominate this whole thing. We'll just take in a bit of the action pre-game. ECS flags waving, and things get going here. Two teams huddling up. Of course, there's Azriel Gonzalez. We mentioned him, the young 16-year-old getting his first S2 start tonight. Zach Mathers, the rest of the crew. Mathers, of course, with that one shot, went wide. Nothing on target so far for S2, but Swope Park Rangers looking real dangerous in this game. Yeah, no, they've been dialing it in. You know, and again, like we said at the half before we went to break, this is a team that's going to get their opportunities. See there, you can look at the Kai Briscoe in particular, just the determination on his face. He's a man who came to play. And this is Christian Duke right off the bat. That far post beats Brian Meredith, but doesn't beat the far post. But several times we've seen stuff from Christian Duke in that midfield so far. Very dangerous. And another solid defensive effort there, and Brian Onasingam, Christian Duke again. Didn't miss by much the second time either. And you can see the frustration on Brian Meredith's face. Wants those midfield defenders to step up, close him down. That's another look at Storm. Man, this is the big save from Meredith. One more time from Duke. And Zach Mathers spins in a great cross, and you can see there just Azriel Gonzalez was screened, or else he would have had that first goal he's been waiting for, and do it, you know, right after you signed your contract at 16 years old. That'd be a nice way to thank the club. Getting your first goal. Still has another 45 minutes to maybe make it happen. Though. Absolutely. Well, of course, Shea Adekoya up top. Not a lot of presence from him so far. We'll take a look at some of the halftime stats. But S2 do have a surprise guy on the bench. We haven't mentioned the benches, of course, but Victor Mansoret back in with the S2 lineup. Of course, from last year, Mansoret was a big part of the S2 team, was on loan at Cincinnati for the first half of the season. Sounders recalled him, and he's on the bench tonight with Sounders too. Yeah, absolutely. He was up in the box last night. And take a look at some of our first half stats there. 5 shots against 2, and really at 5 shots, right? You know, if you're holding Swope Park to that, you're doing a pretty good job against them. And they've only had 1 or 2 of those that were on target. Of course, S2 with their 2 shots, but gotta kind of take those a little bit with a grain of salt. Swope Park haven't had too much to do as far as goalkeeping wise, but Sounders 2, as we mentioned before, still in the game. They're staying competitive. There's a sharpness about it. They've got a young squad out there against what is a team that is on a fabulous run at the moment. Very, very impressive. Ezra Hendrickson has to be quite pleased.
I would be too if I was Ezra Hendrickson. And, you know, my message to the team at halftime would be, you know, pretty simple, which is you got it done in the first 45. You know, you made it through 45 minutes. You got a couple opportunities under your belt. You can play with these guys. Now go do it.
Absolutely. Well, we will have the second half right after this as we break in for our final time at halftime. Again, the score, Seattle Sounders 2-0, Swope Park Rangers 0.
You grew up in Trinidad. I know you love your country and everything. Were you good at anything else, or was it for you, from when you were young, always, I'm going to play football?
Growing up, you know, I play all sports, basketball,
Were you good?
cricket,
You were?
football. So it was like between 10 to 16 years, I was playing more like football and cricket. So I knew I would have made it in one of those sports.
I've met players before from the Caribbean who playing for the national team is like the highest honor. So I know you guys now are going through World Cup qualifying. So kind of talk about your international career so far and what that means to you.
Well, I got an early call in my career, like around 18, going on 19, where I was on the bench for like 6 games straight because the coach did not like believe in me because I was small in size. But they know I have the talent, I can play, but it just trust, I think it was. And when I get my opportunity, I take it. You know, I have like 62 caps right now. So it's an honor, and also an honor to play for my country.
Do you know how many goals you have for your country?
6.
6? You have all the stats, huh? Let's talk about another goal you scored, which isn't on the stat sheet, but this goal took place in December, MLS Cup. You're one of the guys who stepped up to take a penalty kick. Now, 2 things I want to know. Did you want to take one, or did they ask you to?
I just met our kick.
You say you want to take one? And then how is the walk from the halfway line to the PK
Well,
spot?
the last Gold Cup, I threw one against Panama, so that was in my head a little bit. Then after I shake it off, I say, come on. Yeah, I missed over the bar. Then I shake it off, I say to myself, not today again. So it kind of helped me when I woke up.
Jovan Jones, 25-year-old international from Trinidad and Tobago.
But are you nervous when you're walking down
No,
there?
I wasn't nervous.
You wasn't nervous?
No.
You walked down and you finished the
Before I kick, I was kind of nervous. You know, like had 2 minds where I'm going to go. So I just say, I'm just going to go hard and high.
How about that composure, top corner? This is about as good a penalty as you're going to hit. Jovan Jones absolutely showing tons of composure, steps up left-footed, and just rips it into the left-hand upper corner of Clint Irwin.
Winning the cup, it was a great feeling. You know, like you play in a game, you're winning like 4-0. Sometimes you don't really get that vibe. Like if you don't 1-0, you come back and win 2-1 or 3-2. You feel that energy, so it was like that.
Your hair, I have to ask, because the people want to know. You change it every 3-4 days. You know, we've joked before about your hair and stuff. Is there, some have been good, great, some have been interesting. Is there a reason why you change so often? Do you get bored? Is it something everyone from back home does? Like, what's this kind of the story behind your hairstyle?
I get bored, you know, like if I see something on the internet, I try. I don't care if it look good or bad. I just try stuff.
Do you have a favorite one that you've done?
No.
Do you have a horrible one that you've done? You do?
Right now I'm looking for a new one.
Brian Schmetzer, and I knew I'd get that reaction. He likes you a lot, I can tell. Just from being around you guys, he's always, you know, poking fun at you, trying to get you to smile, to talk more. What's your relationship like with Brian, and how much does his confidence in you allow you to actually do what you're doing?
Well, first to begin, I love Brian because, you know, as a coach, he talk to players. You know, some coach, like when they come in mornings, they pass you straight or just, he try to come to talk to you, make you smile, see how your morning going, your family, everything like that. And also on the field, he gave me a lot of confidence. And I think that will help me to become the player I am today.
From an unlikely source, but we've seen it time and again from this man. Chad Marshall
So you're closing in on about 400 career appearances. Does something like that, does it carry weight for you, or are you the kind of guy that's only going to think about that maybe when you retire?
I mean, I definitely think about it and look at the numbers as the years have gone on. I kind of told myself I wanted to get to that 400 games played. I was hoping 400 MLS regular season, so I'll see if I get to that. But yeah, I definitely keep track of it and something to watch.
When I think, and I think a lot of people think of the top American centre backs in recent years, your name's going to be up there when you retire. Do you in some way feel that you were overlooked when it came to the national team? You didn't get as many caps as you maybe someone of your quality should have probably got?
I would have liked to have been a bigger part of the national team. No doubt about it. That's something I'll look back on and regret that I didn't have a bigger part in that team. But you know, there are a lot of players that could say the same thing and who felt overlooked. So I'm fortunate enough that I was able to get some caps. You know, I think I got to 12 caps, so something to tell the grandkids. But yeah, I definitely look back and be bummed I didn't have a bigger part in that team.
It might be hard, but I'll try anyway. Who's would you say is probably the hardest forward you faced in your MLS career? Like, just the guy that you knew you're playing in the next day and you're like, this is going to be a tough game.
I mean, Steve Zakawani was never fun to stick it up against. I don't miss chasing you and Sana around back in the day. That was terrifying. Yeah, I don't know. Nowadays, I mean, I don't think anyone's too pumped to play against Toronto. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I slept really well the night before MLS Cup, thinking about those two. But yeah, there's a lot of good forwards in the league. I mean, David Villa, but yeah, I'll go with Steve Zakawani.
When you look back on your career, hopefully you play many more years, what's the one thing you're going to look back on and say, like, you know, I'm really glad I got to experience that moment?
I mean, looking back right now, I'm very proud that I've got to win 2 MLS Cups now, and both those MLS Cups were that club's first. So I think that's something I'll always look back and be proud of, to say you were part of the team that brought the first championship to that club. Is something that's special to me.
Hey guys, I'm Chad. So happy to be here, share this moment with you guys. We love you. Let's win another one!
Your 14th season now, played with a lot of people. Do you have a favorite teammate?
Might lose some friends over this, but I think my favorite teammate, I said it last year, obviously with it being his last year, but Zach Scott. I think he's just everything you want in a teammate, a friend, a leader, just the way he carries himself. It was fun to watch, and it was even funner to play alongside him. So I'll definitely go with Zach Scott.
I'm just glad you didn't say Brad.
No, not Brad.
Obviously, the MLS Cups we know, the Defender of the Year awards, all of that. At this stage now, someone who's done pretty much everything, what still drives you? What still makes you come out every day, give everything in training, everything in games? Like, what's your motivation at this point?
More. I mean, it's not over just because you did it. You know, it's always nice to do it again and again. Obviously, waited, you know, eight long years in between MLS Cups, and you know. That feeling was amazing, and it drives me still. I'd love to have that feeling again, you know, this December. So you can always do more. You only have a limited time to play this game, so do as much as you can with it.
Welcome back, fans in the stands. You may recognize a couple of them there. That smiling gentleman, Nuhu Tolo, Jordy DeLem, of course, S2 we mentioned last year, and big man Jovan Jones taking a little Sounders 2 action tonight as Katya Korolevas gets us started here. Swope Park Rangers in orange, going right to left. Sounders 2 in green, of course. Have one change dimension. Shea Adekoya has taken a break, getting his 45 minutes in, and has been replaced by Victor Mansoret, the man, Andrew, we were talking about just before he went to break. As we said before, return from Cincinnati. Return to the Sounders from his loan spell there.
Well, Sounders still big on the potential of Victor Mansoret. Still so young, still so much potential. And sometimes with a younger player, it's good to just kind of get them out of their comfort zone. Send them to a different conference, a different city, very different atmosphere. And that FC Cincinnati usually plays in, and see how he can grow.
Not overly impressive stats coming out of Cincinnati, just 8 appearances, no goals, but you know, he certainly has shown flashes of brilliance, of course, in his 2 years he spent with S2. Prior to that, 35 appearances, 5 goals, was voted the #1 player under 20 years of age last year in the USL. So certainly plenty of promise as Swope Park pick up their first corner of the second half. That quick start again. Swope Park had 5 corners in the first half to S2's 1. Again, you mentioned it, Andrew. S2, in order to stay in this game, we're going to have to stay completely focused. Everyone crowds the box. Hernandez on the ball. He'll whip this one in. Mathers is there. Ball bouncing up and down. This one smashed back in by Moore. Might just fall. Still bouncing around. It's Moloto with the shot, and just like that, 47th minute. Lebo Moloto, drafted in 2013 in the supplemental draft by Seattle Sounders, did not play and is now returned with Swope Park to give them a lead here against S2.
What
that
a
was
strike
too quick
it
and
was.
too easy.
Absolutely, you know, I see it here, just a strike, takes it so well out of the air, bouncing ball, one touch to control and finish. Brian Meredith was never going to have a shot at getting to that ball. And an S2 back line that did such a good job of marking Swope Park pretty much kind of not out of the game, but out of danger in the first half. Fails to answer the call in the second.
Just like that, Nikola Popovic's side has taken the lead. It's always tough to come out and concede a goal like that. You see Nana Sinkham and Briscoe kind of just collided. The ball got away. It's enough space for Moloto to wind up. And as you mentioned, Brian Meredith had no chance saving that. There's Mathers releasing Rankin on the right-hand side.
The next few minutes going to be so important for S2.
Ball cleared away again by Marr. This one, though, gathered up by Nana Sinkham. He'll go back to Brian Meredith. Meredith looking long for Rankin. It's going to drift past everybody. Gonna throw in.
Rankin thought he was offside as he was dropping back to get to that ball from Meredith.
Well, we mentioned the one substitute for Sounders, too. Swope Park looked to throw in. A couple of the other guys on the bench here for S2 tonight. Dylan Tevez, another U16 Academy player. Sam Fowler, Camilo Santiago, Cameron Martin, and of course Guy Adoa, the Cameroonian, signed yesterday, and Javorn Stevens. So very, very young bench for S2 tonight. Guy Adoa, just 20 years of age. 12 appearances for the Cameroonian under-20 national team, and of course last club was Rainbow FC. Same as Felix Chenkum and Rodriguez.
And of course the man in the stands, Nuhu Tolo as well.
Absolutely. For Swope Park, their backup goalkeeper tonight, Darren McLeod. Of course, Robert Mirosevich. Liam Doyle, the defender. Nancel Selbo, Dakota Barnathan. Juan Kuzain, Juan Kamal. He, just like Azrael Gonzalez, signed a full contract with Swope Park this week. 18 years old. And Mark Gonzalez. Gonzalez has 5 goals in 10 appearances, so he could be another devastating weapon for Swope Park. We may see him later.
Well, I do like to bring him off the bench, get him involved that way.
Moloto just looking to spring Belmar through. We talked about it. Moloto in the pregame now has 3 goals for Swope Park. A real effect 2 times this year so far, been voted USL Team of the Week. Arbone. Good response here from S2. A little bit of possession anyways.
You know, can't afford to get your head down, start dropping your shoulders. There's still 40 minutes of soccer to play. That's a very long time. First team proved that last night.
Absolutely right. Mathers, good turn from him. It's just caught up. See how quickly Swope Park looked to break. Maloto goes to switch, but Narbonne gets a piece of it. It's called for a foul. Looks like he got the ball first there, but Koroleva says no. Christian Duke looking for Cameron Awasa, headed away by Briscoe. Nicely won by Mathers. Here's Mansoret. Sorry. A little too much work there for Kuntz.
We didn't really have a chance to talk about the decision of the choice of sub by Ezra Hendrickson because, well, the goal happened so shortly afterward. But I do like this choice to bring in Vic Mansoret. You know, a match like this where you're facing up against a defense that kind of had your number all through the first 45, you want to put someone on who wants to go make an imprint on the game. And one thing we could say about Victor Mansoret is that he always wants to put his mark on a game.
Yeah, absolutely right. Shadakoya had his moments, but sometimes, again, we mentioned the service that he got. It wasn't always the best, but a guy like that likes the ball over the top and wasn't getting it. Could, again, especially with S2, you don't know if Ezra Hendrickson has control of that sub. That could be from Brian Schmetzer saying Adekoya gets 45 and then that's that. But nonetheless, Mansoret's on now. One sub down for Sounders, 2. Swope Park have all 3 of their subs. If you're just joining us, should mention that there's 2 cards in the game so far. Charles Rankin in the 36th, then of course James Musa in the 31st for Swope Park. Musa and Mathers were tangling up late in the first half, but came to nothing. But keep an eye on that. Awasa. Duke, nice passing from Swope Park. Duke to get it back. Maloto releases Mar on the left. Maloto again, good quick passing from Swope Park. Hernandez over the top for Maloto. Goes with a clever back heel. Narbonne flicks it away. Nicely worked by Lebo Maloto. Rankin can't clear it away. And it's going to be saved by Hernandez, looks like. Throw in for S2.
And that's a crafty move from Hernandez to shovel it out the touchline. He knew he wasn't going to be able to save that ball, but he forces a deep throw. And Narbonne forced to basically punt it.
How about Lebo Maloto so far in this first few minutes?
Oh man, you know, he was good in the first half, but he's come out, heard the starting whistle for the second. He's just been sublime so far. He's causing so many problems for S2.
S2 have been guilty this season of showing 20 minutes of brilliance and then just shutting off for 5 minutes and really paying for it. Here's Charles Rankin, right-hand side. Gets a good cross off all the way to the far post. A little too high for Ezreal Gonzalez. It's going to be a throw in for S2.
Well, a partnership between Rankin and Mansoret will definitely be something to watch here.
Cleared away by Swope Park. Nanasinkum dumps it back in. Always going to be a tough battle against Tedic there. Towering figure.
It's not his fault he's bigger. He doesn't even exercise.
It's just not fair. He's going to win absolutely everything in the air, no question. Swope Park happy to sit back. That ball just a little far from Narbonne for Nanasinkum.
Swope Park can afford to sit back now. You know, they have the lead. S2 is going to have to bring this game to them, and Swope Park knows that, and they have the speed for a counterattack when S2 does.
And again, the halftime stats showed 2 shots from Sounders too, but it should be noted that goalkeeper Adrian Zendejas has not had to do much. To see a shot again from Christian Duke, way over the top. Zendejas has had no saves to make. One across the front of his goal, and then one shot by Zach Mathers way wide. And you can see why this team has not conceded a goal in 4 games.
Swope Park does a fantastic job of defending from the front all the way back. You know, nothing's given away easily.
When you take a look at this bench at the moment. Do you give Guiadoa his debut tonight?
You know, I think that's really comes back to, you know, his fitness and where he was in his season with his old club, how he was feeling. It's such a tough adjustment coming from Cameroon to Seattle, Washington, even during the summer.
Cameron Iwasa cutting in. Sets it up for Maloto, can't get it. Now it's flicked away by Ramos. Brenken, back to Ramos. Briscoe. Meredith clears this one away. Mansory can't settle it. Not a sink him going long over the top. Mansory. That's one back by Swope Park.
And just to finish that thought on Adoa really quickly as the game jumped on us a little bit there. You know, so it's a big adjustment coming to a new environment, but at the same time, in a game like this, if you are down by a goal, then sometimes you got to look at the guy and go, show me what you got.
Yeah, give him 20 minutes. Iwasa flagged off sides there. Free kick for S2. If we look on the far side, Nikola Popovic looks like he's preparing for his first sub. 58th minute here. Swope Park lead on a 46-minute goal by Lebo Maloto. Nana Sinkum. Mansory nods this one down. Narbonne just shoved off the ball there.
Well, it looks like it's Nansel Selbol. 3 goals, 2 assists this season. He appears to be handing in his card to the 4th official right now.
Nansel Selbol, 20-year-old. Signed last year with Swope Park. 22 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. He is going to come on now, and it is Cameron Iwasa that's going to make way. Former U18 Sporting Kansas City product, Nansel Selbol, originally from Nigeria. As I mentioned, 22 appearances last year, 1 goal, 1 assist. This season, 3 goals, 2 assists, as you said, Andrew, 14 appearances. That's a nice set of stats on a player coming in as a substitute.
Yep, yeah, it's one. Again, you know, you don't get to 6 in a row and 9 in a row unbeaten and 4 in a row without conceding unless you have some serious depth on the bench. And, you know, even when you're looking at their roster page, just the fact that they have 25 guys under contract at Swope Park speaks to their commitment to really developing players.
Signed a big chunk of their academy guys in March, 7 players, a couple of whom are here tonight. Juan Kazane, Juan Kamal, we already mentioned him. And Chase Bromstedt also on the bench. No, excuse me, Chase is not on the bench. Swope Park moving it around again through Maloto. This one's going to skirt out of bounds. Throw in for S2. Well, at the moment, S2 need to find some sort of answer if they're going to break through here. Sorry, gets that pass wrong. It's going to be a throw in for Swope. Half an hour to go.
Well, 30 minutes is a very long time, Aaron, but S2 has to find something that they can cling to that's going to start getting them meaningful possession downfield.
Mathers does well to close this one down and wins a throw-in. That ball's thrown away there by Storm, and we've seen that before. Katya Koroleva does not like it, and this time Colton Storm's going to pick up a yellow card for his trouble here in the 61st minute. Well, we saw that from Parker Marr in the first half, and he got a talking to, and this time Storm gets a yellow card for throwing the ball away.
Well, rightly so. The law of the game is clear. You delay the restart of play, that's a cautionable offense.
So 2 cards on Swope Park side. This ball goes all the way back. Zendejas sends it long. S2 throw. Well, Cameron Iwasa Just got subbed off a minute ago. What'd you make of his performance tonight?
You know, he was dangerous in the moments he needed to be. Unfortunately, wasn't able to be dangerous in the moments where there was someone there to get on the end of it.
Give a chance here for Mansour. He's picked up that pass. Azriel Gonzalez to his left. Gonzalez with a chance to finish it. Saved by Zendejas. Huge moment there for S2. Ray, sorry, it's not over. It's going to skip off of Didic. First corner of the game there for, of the half there for S2. What a moment and a chance for Azriel Gonzalez. Possession given up. Mansour puts him in. Let's see if we can get another look at that.
Yeah, great distribution there. Gonzalez, I think maybe just hesitated a little bit too long. His first touch, he didn't do enough to put it in a position where he could then just step and strike it.
And of course, it's always easier to comment from the booth, but you get this feeling if he keeps it down lower, he just kind of put it right into Zendejas' hands. Never easy to finish, but maybe keeps that on the ground. It avoids sliding keeper, but what a moment there for S2. Best chance so far. Here's Mathers. He whips this one in. Again, can't get it over. Towering first player. That's Maloto again, gets his head on it. He's had a fantastic game.
So now the question becomes, what does S2 do with that chance? They bought themselves some momentum.
Mathers can't settle it down. This one's cleared away. Mathers kind of falls awkwardly and is still down.
And I don't think he went down on contact. I think he kind of lunged to try to save that ball. He went down, and he does not look like he's getting up right now.
Nah, I think you're right. He fell awkwardly, and take a look at it again here. Nice turn from him.
Watch that left leg. He just catches himself with his own foot as he goes to spin, and then his foot slides out from underneath him.
Yeah, you can see that there. Oof. Legs spread out. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Mathers, of course, a huge part of Sounders 2 this season. "11 appearances, we mentioned, 6 goals, 2 assists, Zach Mathers. He had 19 appearances last year, 3 goals and 4 assists, so integral part of the Sounders 2 team. And now Ezra Hendrickson's got to make a decision.
He can put some weight on that as he's coming off the side. That's a hopeful sign, but it looks there like there's going to be another sub imminent for S2. He's going to get some help now from Francisco Narbonne.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to continue, does it?
It doesn't seem that way. And beyond the numbers, too, there's the emotional component to what Mathers brings to this team. You know, he's a bit of a firebrand. He gets in people's faces, including the referees sometimes. One more look at this. Just see there. He goes to get that and just kind of catches his own heel. And boy, you really hope that that's nothing serious.
Oh, Zach Mathers is seen off to the side. Play starts again. Briscoe breaking this up. Now Mansour. Gonna sink him all the way over on the far side. Kuntz. Now we have a Swope Park player down. We have had a substitution replacing Zach Mathers. It's midfielder Dylan Tevez, Sounders U16 Academy. This is his second appearance, made his S2 debut down against the Real Monarchs early July. So big moment here for young Tevez.
That was Carlton Belmar, the man down for Swope Park, but he's up and moving gingerly.
Mathers getting some chance here from the ECS. That's a good ball down the left-hand side for Parker Marr. Picking out Nancel Selbo. Here's Tevez. First touches for him. A huge opportunity for the young Tevez. Original club from Hawaii Rush came over, joined the Sounders Academy, and now his second appearance here for Sounders 2.
Certainly, if you're coming on as a young substitute, you'd like the situation to be a little bit better. But usually if you're coming on as a substitute and a coach has a lot of faith in you, it won't be one of those positive situations. So, you know, big opportunity for Tevez here to come out and try to help this team play its way out of a hole right now.
Well, certainly need every bit of it. We're up against it tonight. Swope Park side has looked comfortable at just about every moment, save for that last little loss of possession. Here is Marr again. Nicely worked from him. Ramos clears it away. Ballo doesn't get his head right. Mansoret. There's going to be a foul called. Foul on Victor Mansoret by, I think that was Omar Ballo. Sorry. Here's Kuntz. Back to Mansoret. Does well to hold it up. Picks out Azriel Gonzalez, top of the 18. Tackled away. Narbonne. Swope Park again, just surrounding everybody every time they get the ball. Very good defensively. Nanasinkum just dumps it back in. Christian Kuntz, one more time. Nicely worked from him. Tries to feed it through. Looking for his teammate Tevez. Cleared away by Ballo. Kuntz growing in confidence over there. Sorry, switches it to the right side. Rankin. Love to see that confidence from the young players. Ramos from Mansoret. Mansoret is going to be flagged for offsides. Koroleva blows the whistle.
Much better stuff from Christian Kuntz. He's had a solid game defensively out there on that left outside back position, but he really in the first half looked timid when he had defenders in front of him. Every time there was a man in front of him, he turned and played the ball back. And I think he started to realize, hey, if we're going to score, I have to get involved, send some more through balls here. And he put 2 great ones in just now.
Certainly comes a moment in the game when you just have to let things go and just go for it. Ezra Hendrickson looks like he's told Dylan Tevez something similar. He's just made 2 great runs through a minute ago. It's a little slippery there from Nanasinkum. Briscoe comes back from Meredith's pass. Swope Park still chasing.
Hendrickson may have decided to just kind of unleash his young guys. You know, a loss is 0 points either way, and I'd rather lose by 2 goals at home than 1 if we're chasing the game.
Certainly gives Swope Park something to think about. Plenty of time, as we mentioned, though. 69th minute here. Starfire Sports Stadium. Swope Park Rangers lead on a 46-minute goal by Lebo Moloto. Just came right out of the gates. Narbonne breaks that one up. Mansoret. Going at 3 Swope Park players. Here's Rankin. Nicely broken up by Marr. Selbol. Fed into Moloto. He's going to be fouled by Nanasinkum. It's good feet from Moloto.
Yeah, he completely won that foul of his own accord. Nanasinkum was going to be right there to get a foot to that ball. Instead, Moloto made the unexpected move, and Nanasinkum ran into him.
Long ball over the top, looking for Belmar. This time it's picked up by Christian Duke. Can't control it. Mansoret. This one misses Tevez as he was going through. Duke will restart it for Swope Park. Sinkum's there. He's caught late by Duke.
That was well done by Koroleva to allow play to continue there. But once that ball got away, you do have to give this foul.
No question. Christian Duke just catches Nanasinkum late there. Good thing for S2, he's okay.
And no ill intent, I don't think. Not much he could have done to hold up his run there, but you catch a guy that late, you can expect to get a whistle for it.
Ryan Nanasinkum, the only player on the S2 back line in his 20s, and early 20s at that. And one of 2 players with a full-fledged driver's license.
Now, how's that for a stat for you? You talk about building a pipeline from your academy to your first team.
2 of the 4 on the back line cannot drive. It's still 16, isn't it?
Last time I checked, Aaron, I got to be honest with you.
I don't really know where they are with the driver's license.
They haven't taken mine away yet. That's the only thing I'm concerned about so far.
Mansoray. Ezreal Gonzalez, S2 again. Trying to work their way out, but Swope Park all over them. Kuntz does well to win it back. Christian Kuntz. This one broken up by Belmar. Looking over the top. It's going to miss everybody. Go right back to Nanasinkum. Narbonne. Kuntz. Might be stating the obvious here, but every time S2 try to bring it up one of these sides, if it doesn't go right away, Swope Park have given no space to anyone. Looks like they might have to try and go another direction, if I can put it that way.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a small pitch here at Starfire and very bouncy off the turf. Swope Park seem to know that. It feels like it fits into their play style because there has been no room to breathe for S2.
Well, that was nicely done by Tevez, though, to take that off Balo. Here's Mansoray. Turns. Mansoray still going. He's waiting for that run from Rankin. Finally releases him. Charles Rankin gets that cross in, but Swope Park is there instantly. Musa. Rankin does well to chase it down. It's out of bounds. It's going to be a throw in here for Swope Park, but we're going to have some substitutions first. Looks like can't tell who's going to go on first. It looks like we are going to see the Cameroonian for Sounders 2, Guy Edoa. He is now going to come on, and Charles Rankin's day is over. The debut here for the Cameroonian, 20-year-old Cameroonian. Guy Edoa is on. Charles Rankin is off. Good night for Charles Rankin. And on the other side, you see the replacement, Lebo Moloto, the goal scorer, is coming off. And coming on for him is Mark Gonzalez, the 5-goal man we mentioned earlier.
Nice round of applause there as Edoa is announced to the S2 crowd for the first time. And what I'm sure he hopes will be the first of many. But Gonzalez, we mentioned goal scorer going off. Well, you got a goal scorer coming on. He's got 5 of them this season.
Yeah, Mark Gonzalez.
Also in the 73rd minute,
signed with Swope Park back in January of 2016. Had 27 appearances, 9 goals, 4 assists. Very, very important player here for the Swope Park Rangers. Member of Toronto's Academy, as we see Tevez blown for a foul there after winning that ball. He's done well since he's come on, Dylan Tevez.
Well, you know, he's not running scared, which is sometimes all you can ask for at that age, and you know, it can be kind of liberating. Just go in there, stick your nose in, win the ball. That time it doesn't work out for S2.
Well, this is the breeding ground of opportunities here, and Sounders 2 absolutely have a lot of players out there with something to prove. Huge opportunities here for them against third place Swope Park, but as we talked about it before, Andrew, they are clearly one of the best teams in the USL Western Conference we've seen so far. Christian Duke trying to slip in. There's another shot over the top. That's got to be the 4th from Christian Duke. He's looking to connect with Nancel Selbo. Got a chance for the shot and just over the crossbar.
Yeah, he's been smashing them all night long. He makes such great contact with the ball. You see it again here. Tries to go through Selbo there. Knocked away from Nanasinkum, and he immediately knows he wants to pull that trigger. That time he keeps his weight back. The ball drifts up on him. If I'm Christian Duke, I want to keep my weight forward over that, keep it on the ground, see if you can maybe catch Brian Meredith looking.
Meredith going long this time. Header won there by Guy. Has to lose possession though. One back, it's Belmar. Gonzalez looking to slip in, the chance for Nancel Selbo. Brian Meredith comes off, Selbo's offsides.
A bit of a lucky break for S2 there. That timing of that run just off from Selbo. But you see him there, one turnover, ball gets poked through, and then really kind of the first misplayed touch from Kai Briscoe tonight, and it winds up falling to the foot of Selbo, who was offside.
Yeah, Briscoe had to make up that ground, managed to get a piece of it, but Selbo fortunately offsides. Tevez has it taken away by Hernandez. Katya Koroleva got a piece of that. Christian Duke, see why he's such a presence for this Swope Park team. Constantly moving around in there. Keeping the ball moving, likes to attack. Effective presence for them. Narbonne. Immediately fouled from behind by Gonzalez.
Well, that's a lack of communication on S2's part. They got to let Francisco Narbonne know as that ball's getting to him that, hey, you have pressure and it's already here. And you're going to see now, you kind of saw it in those last two opportunities for Swope Park, is S2 has to commit more numbers downfield, try to get themselves onto the ball so they can get this equalizer goal. And that's going to leave opportunities on the break.
That long one from Ballo is going to miss everybody. Yeah, the only chances S2 have had so far is if Swope Park make a mistake at the back. We've seen that's how Ezreal Gonzalez got his chance. It's happened once or twice, but nothing as clear-cut as that one was. Swope Park just adamant, keeping numbers forward, having as much possession in S2's half as possible. Nice turn there, but has it taken away by Ezreal Gonzalez. That was Colton Storm. Lost possession there. Gonzalez again. Tries to hold it up, wins another throw-in.
Take positive yardage any way you can get it right now. 12 minutes in the stoppage to go. Just kind of try to fight your way toward that penalty area.
Your head coach Nikola Popovich of Swope Park. You try and close things down here with a defender at the very end, or do you just keep things going as they are?
You know, so far your backline's been having a good game, unless someone's showing signs of fatigue or is, you know, swings by the bench and goes, "Coach, I'm cramping up." I might be inclined to see if your back four can finish this one out. They've been phenomenal.
Of course, there's still the Isle of Man international Liam Doyle on the bench, another 6'4" character. He's the only defender. Of course, there's Dakota Barnatham as well. Just 5 appearances for him this season.
Yeah, you know, the more I think about it, especially as this game drags on, there's a chance maybe you pull out Belmar eventually, you put Liam Doyle on there once you get to that 85th minute mark.
Here's Marr. Gonna be a foul there by Parker Marr. Meredith sending everybody forward. 10 minutes to go here, and probably just a little bit more with that injury to Zach Mathers. Minute or two at least at the moment.
I'd expect we'll see probably about 3 if I had to guess.
Probably a good guess.
All S2 need are one moment, Aaron. They just got to do enough to manufacture it.
His chances have become so few and far between. Nana Sinkham's ball is just a little bit too far for Kuntz. That one's left. Running onto it is Gonzalez, one-on-one against Briscoe. Briscoe stays with him. Again, 16-year-old does very well. Swope Park will work it back. That's fine with them.
That last giveaway was really kind of the first mistake that I saw out of Brian Nanasinkham tonight. He didn't pick his head up and look to his left as that ball was coming back to him, so he sent the pass to where Kuntz was, not where he was going to be.
It's a great pass in there as Gonzalez gets there first. It's going to go off the near post. Save there. Nana-Sinkham's going to see this one out, though, as a huge collision between Gonzalez and Brian Meredith. He's down. I think he's going to be okay. What a pass that was to put Gonzalez in there. Take a look
weighted.
at it again.
Meredith makes exactly the right call, comes off his line, gets to that. Just, you see why Gonzalez is so dangerous, off by a matter of inches, and were it not for the post, this would be a 3-0 game right now.
Absolutely. Christian Duke in the first half, and then Gonzalez right there. Mark Gonzalez, 5 goals, almost got his 6th. At the other end, here's Guy Adoa, Cameroonian, stretching his legs a little bit. See the speed from him.
Well, and that quick sprint and the stop against Ezreal Gonzalez are pretty much the only activity that Zendejas has had tonight in goal.
Doa's going to set that one to Ramos. Mansoret. Does well to keep it, Victor Mansoret. Again, Swope Park doing so well to push that ball backwards. Here's Adoa, chance to go one-on-one. Parker Marr closes him down. Mansoret. Ramos gets that pass wrong, misses Tevez, but Narbonne cleans it up. No, he does not. Gonzalez has it. Blows by Briscoe. 3v2 right now for Swope Park. Selbol with a bending shot to the far post. That is a sublime finish. You and I got a perfect look at that, Andrew. It was directly over his shoulder. Brian Meredith gave him no room. Selbol picked it out perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, a quick counter come back the other way. Brian Meredith is in the right position, but that's such a well-read ball. You can see it there. Beautiful curl, beautifully struck. You can see Selbol reading this the whole way in. Look at him adjust his body, get his foot to that. And that is beautiful soccer. And it comes at the expense of S2.
One of those moments straight out of the training ground. Teams practice that. Numbers, 3v2, 2v1, that was it. Gonzalez just feeds it to his left. Selbol, what a finish. Fantastic from the young 20-year-old. Gets his 4th goal of the season.
And deservedly so. A lot of credit belongs to Gonzalez as well. You know, one thing, if that attack came to naught, it was going to be the first thing I pointed out was the spacing of his dribbling is terrific. As he's moving his way up the field, he takes enough on the ball every time that he can get a perfect sprinting stride in and be back on it with his right foot.
Gonzalez did very well. Blew by Briscoe. Just Kuntz and Nana sink him back. Swope Park make him pay. 2-0 lead here now for the Rangers, the 84th minute. S2 can only hope to nick something quick, and then they're right back in this. Not a lot of time left to do it. We see the final substitution here from Nikola Popovic. It looks like it's going to be Juan Hussein Juan Kamal getting his 3rd appearance. Thought we were going to see that sub, but oh, there it is. There's going to be James Musa going off. On comes Juan Hussein Juan Kamal. Swope Park Academy player. Signed his full contract just earlier this week. Was originally going to go to the Akron University, but decided to stay here with Swope Park, and now a full professional player as Ray Sari's called for a foul.
You know, it's we often spend most of our time talking about the S2 guys who are coming up through pipelines, but we were remarking for the game. This is an exciting time to be covering lower league soccer in the United States. The development of players is proceeding at a rapid pace compared to where it was 10, even 5 years ago.
Well, it's certainly what this country needs. Sorry, under pressure. Real quick, Nana Sinkum picks out Ramos. Swope Park won it back again. Yeah, as you're mentioning, Andrew, all part of building the United States soccer, and of course both these two teams with the MLS clubs in front of them are a big part of that. So vital for the game and the future of the U.S. soccer.
That's well kept in by Ramos.
Narbonne over the top for Mansouri. Mansouri spins away. Always a pocket of 4 or 5 players around him. This one chipped in by Ledua, but no one's there. Narbonne looking for Mansouri, nicely tackled. Blocked off. Gonzalez.
Swope Park have been in control really from the opening whistle. The more you look at this game, they're deservedly up 2-0 right now. Certain moments it looked like it was going to be by a lot more than that. But again, you know, like I mentioned before that goal happened, I'm okay with S2 trying to get after it, opening the game up more, pushing for that goal, and winding up conceding a second.
Certainly a well-conceded goal, or a well-executed goal. You won't see a finer example of finishing in that form.
No, I wouldn't be stunned if we're taking a look at that on Goal of the Week nomination list.
Absolutely. Got to correct myself here on that substitution. That was Omar Ballo that went off. James Musa has dropped back to center back. Just noticed that a moment ago. As Christian Dukes down, getting a little stretch, a little help from Francisco Narbonne. '88th minute here. Score Sounders 2-0. Swope Park Rangers 2, just to recap. Lebo Moloto, that 46-minute goal scored right out of the gates, and then Swope Park again hit the post through Gonzalez, and then finally Nancel Selbo in the 83rd minute on a pass from Gonzalez.
And 2 very well-struck goals for Swope Park Rangers tonight. The first coming from a breakdown by S2 that really shouldn't have allowed that opportunity to develop, and the second one from a beautiful counterattack. Popovich can be happy. His side is produced, and it looks like, barring an unlikelihood, that it's going to be 7 wins in a row for Swope Park when the whistle goes on this.
7 wins in a row. Potentially their 5th straight game without conceding a goal, and it would be 10 straight unbeaten. Game's not over yet, though. 89th minute here in Starfire Sports Stadium. Sounders 2. Well, they've had their moments. They had that Azriel Gonzalez chance, but other than that, it's been few and far between. Just haven't been able to set in any sort of rhythm. Swope Park have defended very, very well, very organized. It's been their night tonight. And I think we have to say, Andrew, we've seen just about everybody here in the Western Conference so far, and this is, I think, the most impressive team I've seen yet.
I would absolutely agree with you, Aaron. You know, I mean, San Antonio came in here. They looked very strong. Sacramento has looked good a couple of times. But in terms of overall team execution, team philosophy, and just, you know, raw physical ability and technical ability, I think Swope Park is a team that I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on.
Getting word that 4 minutes of stoppage time coming our way as we tick down here to 90 minutes. Carlton Belmar just keeping it in the corner, trying to drag this thing out. Everyone from S2 pushing forward. Meredith's going to send it long. Still time to get something. This one beats everybody. There's the clock for 4 minutes from our 4th official, Levi Rippey.
4 minutes of added time. 4 minutes.
Ball is bounced into the Swope Park bench. Well, as I mentioned before, Sounders 2 next game is this weekend. They're down in Sacramento, another place S2 have never won before, but they checked one off the list at Vancouver, so might be their time this time around, Andrew.
Oh, absolutely. You know, after a match like this, sometimes, you know, you reconnoiter, reconvene, and kind of get your energy up for a big road trip. It's a great atmosphere to play in down there at Papa Murphy's Park in Sacramento. I've had the good fortune to call a game or two there in my time. And, you know, it can kind of get your blood up a little bit, and maybe that's, you know, what S2 needs after kind of some frustration at home over the last 2 matches.
Well, as for Swope Park, they will go home after this road trip and a big game against currently 4th place Reno. Should be a very interesting game.
That'll definitely draw attention from those who follow the USL. You got Dane Kelly over there at Reno. He's having himself a terrific season, and then so many players for Swope Park who are dangerous all the time.
Now, we haven't even seen, not with the 18 tonight, but of course, everyone's familiar with Kevin Oliveira, the 21-year-old man. Not with the team tonight. Meredith. Halfway into these 4 minutes left. Swope Park just doing their best to close this thing out here at Starfire Sports Stadium. Briscoe gets this one right. He has defended well tonight in what has been a tough, tough job. Couple slips here and there. Overall, great performance from the young man. It's just 16 years old. You forget a lot of these guys. Not a sink 'em. This one's going to skip everybody and go into the stands.
No, I've been very pleased with the game from Briscoe. It's a big ask, but he's answered well, and, you know, barring 1 or 2 mistakes, had a very solid match.
Powerful turn again from Selbo, still flying. Hernandez outside to Storm, gets cut out by Kuntz.
See the frustration on Kuntz there.
Yeah, another man who's had a solid performance tonight. As we mentioned, they had a tough game, Kuntz and Briscoe, on Sunday. Really impressed today. Belmar called for the foul.
Well, you know, it's one of those tricks to young players. Now a restart getting delayed here. Belmar standing in front of Meredith. But, you know, 16, 17-year-old players, sometimes they can be reliable to make about 3 or 4 mistakes a game. The trick with them, how do you get that down to 1 or 2 mistakes? You got to give them opportunities. So that's, I'm sure, factoring into Ezra Hendrickson's lineup decisions through these couple games, getting guys like Tevez and Gonzalez out there as well.
Of course, Gonzalez had his one huge opportunity tonight. We'd love to have that one back. Chisiki Adoa just lose possession. Briscoe, nice flicked header back, but no one's there to pick it up for him, just Mark Gonzalez. Swope Park just seeing this one out, and there's the whistle from Katya Koroleva. Swope Park Rangers make it 7 in a row, 5 games in a row without conceding a goal. Very, very impressive performance from them tonight. S2, as we talked about it, Andrew, had their moments, but Ezra Gonzalez, the best chance, couldn't put it away, and that was kind of the story of the evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the other storyline is that you definitely hope that Zach Mathers is not out for any particular length of time. You just hope that he maybe tweaks something and he'll be good to go once he gets some ice on it. But, you know, it's an S2 team that coming out, they were always going to have difficulty dealing with Swope Park. To no one's surprise, they did. But, you know, still a result that you can have some pride in. They hung in with them, and just a couple mistakes that you got to clean up.
Well, Ezra Hendrickson on the S2 side will close it out tonight, talk about this one, and then get ready for their trip down to Sacramento on July 23rd. And as I mentioned before, Swope Park Rangers will head home, relax a little bit, and then get ready to take on Reno on July 30th. That's it for us tonight here at Starfire Sports Stadium. For Bootstrappers Productions, for Andrew Harvey, I'm Aaron Heinzen. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Again, our final score here at Starfire Sports Stadium, Seattle Sounders FC 2-0, Swope Park Rangers 2. Good night, everyone.